Hi guys, so I just wanted to carry on making the highlights reel of how Ireland beat England. Gonna get straight into it because the game starts soon. So let's get to it. Credit again to Rugby Cloud official and Rugby Cloud. And we're gonna get straight into it. So I'm gonna go through some of the key moments. So this is Ireland's defence here. So you can see how well we defended here. And I was just talking about I got cut off, the battery died, so I had to bring it in and charge it. Alex Mitchell double bumps here. So if you see, best way to deal with someone who's stepping, as you ever deal with those wingers who, the way it always works for me is there's a left winger and they carry the ball in their right arm and they want to step back infield. And this is stuff that I noticed that helped me coaching. Because I said it to the lads, I say, stay on your feet. Everybody come up in a line together. You know, it's easy to jump out, and try and nab the player. That's what Mitchell wants here. He's trying to commit someone, but Ireland do a great job of not biting in. Let him throw the pass or jink whatever way he wants. They're usually going sideways anyway. When you dive into it and you create a little hole in the line, that's exactly what the player stepping wants. I think this is really good play by Ireland not to bite in. Van der Fleer comes up, but he doesn't bite in. Doris and McCluskey, and then you've got Joe McCarthy and Tyke Furlong. Like, I know they say Ireland are a small team, but tell me who in their right mind wants to run into these guys. This is perfect. And Jeremy Lockman is covering the blind side. So really good defence. And defence, what am I turning American? I was going to say defensive line. But you see the way England are really bunched because they can't actually pick a spot to target because Ireland's defence is so strong. And then a really good tackle. Perfect chop tackle here. Is this another one where Henry Pollock gets back up? Anyway, we'll see. It is. In fairness, with that one, I think McCarthy might have released him, but he certainly got away with a few double movements. But that's a really strong position. Like, you do not want to run into John McCarthy, Tide Furlong, McCluskey, Van der Fleer, and Lockman. You know, that's why I talk about the big men staying closer to the ruck because it's always better if you've got the big lads in the tight play. The last thing you want is your small fellas in the tight play. Like Gary Ringrose, he's a physical enough fella, his defensive raids are brilliant. I'm just going to lose that. Like, because it's annoying me saying only. There we go. He's really good at reading it, but you would still rather him defend wide because he's got more pace, wing rolls as they call them. So you want him out wide. You want the big men in tight, and this is exactly what we get. And then Doris goes for the jackal, slows the ball right down. Look at that line. That's perfect. What we were talking about against France being disjointed. Look at this line. Jack Owen was injured after that croc roll. What am I talking about? Balakoon's awareness is something that I was really impressed with. So you see here, he's a right winger, but he's covering the fullback position in case the ball gets chipped over. And Jamie Osborne is coming in here to cover the space. Really clever. And that's the thing with Ireland. They just looked more assured and they looked like they knew what they were doing. They weren't disjointed like they had been before. And look at this line. You could join them all together with a pencil. Really good line and much improvement. I said I saw improvements against Italy and definitely against England. Like, we do concede yards, but it's the fact that we're coming up together as a line, and this is kind of the rugby league defense. That's kind of, I keep saying defense. Yeah, defense would be more American, wouldn't it? Jesus, I'm thinking I'm saying it in a different way, but I'm not. My brain is gone. But you see how we shut out the line here to shut off that pass out wide, and then we make the tackle as well. Even though we're conceding yards, we're coming up and hit as a unit, and that's why we looked so good. Lawrence breaks the tackle, but there's enough covering behind. That's the thing. So we do miss the tackle with Dan Sheehan, but we make it again. Like, it was pretty physical by Ollie Lawrence. He is quite powerful. He's no Manu Tuolangi now, but that was a good bosh. But what I like about Jeremy Lockman is he's always there to cover. Like, really good. Gets that leg. Like, that's a loose head prop. He gets down and makes the tackles so well. And he gets him down. James Lowe here injures himself, which is unfortunate. You can see he's heavily wrapped, but does very well. Him and Lockman do extremely well to make that tackle. But McCluskey does slow him down. Lawrence is a powerful guy. So even though we missed two tackles, because our defensive line is so good, we're able to realign. The Tyke Furlong always in the thick of it. Now England get over here. So there's four of them committed to the ruck. We're in a pretty good position. Beef Stew is coming around. We've got Tigey, my man, Wexford Beef, who's up on his feet. He's pointing. He's the filler. And then we've got Jeremy. Is that Jeremy Lockman? Yeah. No, sorry, Caelan Doris. Lockman is still down. I was there thinking that was pretty quick for him to regain his feet. I know he's quite nimble for a prop, but that's impressive. So England just take a one-up carry here, which suits us perfectly. We've still got six players all lined up here, one back here, and England are at sixes and sevens. That's a really good position. Sorry, 1 second now. My phone's making funny noises. Yeah. It's just letting me know that we have the upload. Yeah. Very good. All right. So that's that sorted. But look at this. Brilliant positioning. And Balakoon is the right winger, but he's covering in behind so well. His positional awareness was excellent in this game. I know like his attributes as an athlete are outstanding. He's fast, he's strong. He's also got the ability to finish. He can catch the ball in the air. He's really good at the overhead catch. But his reading of the game was perfect. Genge gets up and carries, but we get the men in here. This could have been dangerous, but we dealt with it so well. Now we've probably got too many men here on the blind side, but as you've seen already, Mitchell does like to go down the blind side. But even still, we've got enough men here. We've still got six men across in a nice line, and we've got two filling in. Balakoon can now join the line because we're back on our own try line. So if England do chip over the top, very little space to work with. So we've actually got more numbers. England have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. And then that means there's 9 players over here, but you can't really see them. Look, once that ball comes out, Cowan Dickey gets smashed. Great tackle, really good technique. Is that Tyke Byrne again? It is. And then we get Stuart McCluskey in with the jackal. Like they could go wide here and then they could get the try, but we read it so well. Look at the ground Balakoon's covered. So from his own goalpost, he's all the way out on the right wing. How he does it, I don't know. It's like he's got a teleporter or something. And here I think is where he makes a brilliant defensive read because as a winger, if you've got the overlap, you've got to just jam in. We saw how Tommy O'Brien got it wrong against France with Matthew Jalibert, but you've got to just gamble. It's a very hard position to defend, but Balakoon did it so well. This is it, yeah. What a read, because if that ball goes to hand and Balakoon doesn't make that hit, then they're in the corner. Brilliant read by him. And then the knock on. That's outstanding stuff. And that's the stuff like I know he's a great athlete, but that read was brilliant. And let's look at where he comes from. So he comes from all the way over here. Then England take it up, and he gets back out to that right wing position so fast. See him here? And he shifts across. And he's in position. Now, England have a 3-on-1 here, but Balakoon comes up, hits Ben Earl with such ferocity that he drops the ball. But we also do really well here to slow it down. Dan Sheehan, I think, with that heavily bandaged leg. Because we slow it down, we give our defence a chance to regain their feet and to also shuffle across. Look at where Tyke Furlong and Tyke Byrne are. Like, they're covering some out the ground. Brilliant hit. Like, if that ball goes to hand, the Balakoon doesn't make that hit, I think they could have been in the corner. That was a huge moment. Brilliant play. They've just survived an England onslaught. So that's why that was such a big moment in the game. because if they don't do that and England score, the momentum is with England. We kicked our penalty, and that's the big thing when you're playing England. Score first. They don't like to be behind on the scoreboard. Goes quick to Mitchell. But that's fine. We've got our tight men in here next to the ruck. Slow ball for England. This is perfect position, and we just suffocate them. Really good hits. So, what do you think is going to happen next? Box kick. Like, I understand kicking when you get driven backwards or if you're not making any ground, fair enough. But England just seem to have that as their default all the time. And it's just to make it an area of contest. Like, they were shit out of ideas and shit out of luck. They're big and they're physical. They always have been. They've always been stronger in the pack than us. And they like to bully teams. That's why when they come up against the likes of South Africa, they come undone because South Africa are very hard to bully. You know, few teams would struggle to compete with South Africa physically, even the Pacific Island teams. Like South Africa's set piece is so good that you're always going to struggle, and Ireland did. That's why it's so effective. But what we did really well is just coming up as a unit. Our defensive line was perfect. And I think Jack Crowley has a lot to say for that because the fly half leads the way, and he certainly did that. But the pack were immense. I just want to make a point before I forget it. I keep saying the forwards decide who wins the game, and the backs decide by how much. How many massive hits have we seen being put in by Jeremy Lockman, by Tyg Byrne, of course, always, the Byrne name, doing it proud. Tyg Furlong, John McCarthy, working like a dog, The pack are putting in a huge shift. But in this game, we got 5 tries, 4 of them were by backs, and that's exactly what I want to see. And Dan Sheehan basically is a back, so we'll say 5. But that's how the game is played. France do it so well. The pack go through an immense amount of work. You look at the likes of Michael Guillard, and I think I'm pronouncing that right. Anyone French, let me know. But I looked it up, and the pronunciation was Guillard. So I think I'm doing all right. But the forwards put in such a big shift, and Tyg Byrne played the whole game. Like, what a beast. But then our back line, when called upon, did what they had to do. And that's all I'm asking. I knew our backs were good enough. I just said they needed to step up, and they stepped up big time in this game. Box kick coming now, nice and easy. We're getting ready to drop back because England are so predictable. Like if Mitchell goes quick here, we're still in a fairly good position to realign. And Balakoon, reliable as always. Look at that. That's exactly what you want, right into the bread basket. Takes it gracefully. Really good take. Like, I know that Gibson Park won man in the match, and rightly so, but you could have given it to so many players. And this man came very close again to getting it. Stuart McCluskey, I feel, was unlucky not to get man in the match because he's been immense for us. Look at that presentation as well. Not only does he win it gracefully in the air, but then that presentation is perfect. Gibson Park can work well with the worst type of ball. So you give him that, and he's away in a hack. Just looking at, is it something about hookers where they always injure their left leg? Is it because it's their standing leg? Because look at Cowan Dickey and look at Sheehan, matching leg braces, both on the left leg, and that's the one you stand on the break foot, and then you're hooking it back with your right foot. So yeah, it must be a lot of pressure coming through on that leg, to be fair. That's probably why, because actually standing on the left and hooking it back through the loose head's legs with your right foot. I've tried doing it before. It's very awkward. It's a skill that is hard to match. A big thing as well, though, with this game was that Ireland scored first. Scotland scored first against England, and it made all the difference. But that ball presentation is perfect. Gibson Park picks it up, and he's off. We're going quick. And look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players for England, all bunched together. And now we go. Good carry by Doris, who stepped up big time as captain. Much better as a number 8 than a 7. It's always been his best position, but we needed a big game from him, and he certainly delivered. Big, massive carry here. And now quick ball again, Gibson Park, and he's away. See how we don't go for the kick. So that's kind of like it's a good carry by Doris, but it's kind of stagnant. You could go for the kick, but instead we decide, no, let's carry. I like that. Jeremy Lockman again hitting another rook. I've been really impressed with him. I know the scrums haven't been perfect, but look at Lockman's work rate. He's hitting every rook. He's making cover tackles. Like that's difficult for a big man playing in the front row, and that's something he gives you. You know, that's what I like. France were doing that against us. We decided to do it against England. Heads up rugby. We're good enough to do it, and we did it here, and has England backtracking. We don't win it. Great work by Joe Hayes. Just a shout out to him. Ellis Genge, that's how you do it. Really nimble. That was really good skill by Joe Hayes because that ball's going back. He's a big man and he just dives on it and collects it. So very impressive by the big man. And then he pops it up as well. Yeah, like perfect. That's not an easy skill to do. Just a shout out to Joe Hayes. Must be the Irish, you know. And now this is usually where George Ford is good as a distributor, you know. And he gives a good pass here, and England look like they're on the counter attack, but we really got her well. Dingwall takes it in. Lawrence gets it now. That could have been dangerous, but we make our tackles when we need to. And now they pass again. It's kind of narrower for them now. Ringrose kind of rides the challenge. Tyke Furlong again, defending on the wing. Good hit by James Wong. And then we win the turnover. Excellent stuff. Instead of kicking it, because I think McCluskey learned his lesson when he kicked against Italy. You're off kicking Judy, big stew. Let's move the ball instead. And that was a bit of a loose pass, you know. They were up in Shane's face, but he steps very well, takes the contact brilliantly. And then we get over it very well. Great rook. Good hands by Joe McCarthy, and we're out again. It bounces, but we still play it. And I think at this point, this one Freeman gets an intercept. I think. Yeah. But why not? It was on. Look, sometimes you got to trial the 50-50 passes. And if you look, we've got such a good overlap. So I think you'll take that one. It's how you regather your feet afterwards. It's like if you look at it, we work it very well. Great looking. James Ryan goes through a lot of the unseen work as well, but it's appreciated. Just learn not to tuck that arm because you're going to get sent off. Look how punched England are though here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players again, all condensed. Probably the width of the goalpost, you know what I mean? And they're all bunched in together, which is exactly what we want. Oh, sorry. Really good picture for Ireland, bad picture for England. And John McCarthy gives a really good ball out the back here. That picture is really good. It's unfortunate, but I see what he was trying to do. He picks it up really well. I think he should actually go through the gap himself, back his own pace. But in fairness, it's a 3-on-1. If you don't give that, people are giving out to you. So, yeah. But if he actually went himself with his offloading game, taking into contact, get the offload, and then we've got a 3-on-1. But you make mistakes in the game. It's how you recuperate after that. So, sorry, I'm just getting a message from my mate. You could go, oh shit, I made a bad mistake here and just panic, but we don't. Watch how we regroup. That's what really impressed me with Ireland. We make our tackles. Balaku, you can see the way he goes into Tom Curry, but then moves off to Arundel so well. Yeah, it's just there weren't enough good things to say about him because he was that good. Another great tackle. And he gets him out. and he applies the pressure. So let's just look at that again. Like it's not just the big moments, which Balakoon did very well, but he also did the little things so well. So he makes this tackle. Sorry, I just want to pause it there. He doesn't bite in. He goes into Tom Curry, but then pushes off on Darren, makes the tackle, gets back up. Osborne does a good job as well. But they apply so much pressure to England that they make the knock on. He goes for that jackal. Really good, really clever play. So long to set the scrum, isn't it? Get it in. That's one area where England were stronger, but really good by Gibson Park. Get it in, get it out, and get gone. Give it to Stew, crash it up, and we are out of here. I forgot that they got a penalty, but check what happens here. George Ford makes another absolute howler here. So watch. Yeah, Jack Crowley had a howler with that last one against Italy, but this was just criminal. So you've kicked that and you've missed touch with a previous one, tried to bite off too much. Now you're actually in the 22 after your forwards have just won a scrum penalty. I can tell you that as a forward, I would be livid at my fly half if he did this. He kicks it dead. Oh, terrible, terrible. Goes to Ben Earl. We don't bite in. He does his fancy step. He's not going anywhere. And Tyke Furlong and Dan Shane make a good tackle. Good hit. See that double hit there, and we rip the ball comes out. So Ben Earl comes at like a pace as well. He's a good ball carrier, but we don't get disjointed and we don't bite in. Shane could dive in there, but he stays on his feet. And the two of them make a really good double hit. And watch this in here. Double tackle. It's rugby league style. I think it's Gary Ringrose. It's definitely Ty Byrne as well. And they strip the ball out really well. James Ryan, sorry, it's hard to see from up here. James Ryan and Ty Byrne do a great job, the 5 and the 6. Doris does get bounced because, as I said, it's a bit too high. So we look at it again. Ty Byrne and James Ryan actually made a good high tackle there. What I mean by that is they wrapped up the ball. So we see here, we go back. Sorry. So we go. Right. Really good low hits. Look how strong we are here. We just push on so well. So they're getting the yards. The ball goes out to Arundel this time, and we deal with it perfectly. Shane makes a really good cover tackle, and then Tyke Furlong's in again. They all come up in a line together. So there's no one that England can single out. Even the guys who are getting kind of bounced, they are slowing the player down, and we're realigning so well. Brilliant defence. Like, look at that. One pass is made by Genge. We're up in his face. Itoje gets the ball, and we're up in his face. Gets through the gap, but we still realign. This is difficult to realign here, but we do it so well. Like they're coming onto us at pace. They've got big backs, but we make our tackles. This is Jack Crowley, Prendergast replacement, and instead of missing it, he makes the hit. Ty Burn does help him a lot now, but we'll give him that one. He's a fly half, so we got to give him something. This is an ideal attacking spot for England, but we cope brilliantly here. And actually, Balakoon shuffling it across. Not for this one, sorry. Good hit by Osborne and James Lowe. And now they're right at our line. And this is all about how much you want to hit them back, because we're only 3 points up at this stage still. This is 14 phases and relentless English attack. We are very bunched here as well. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players. So only 3 out here. It's all about slowing England's ball down, because if they get the ball wide quick, we are screwed. I told you it probably should have gone wide, but we slowed them down. One high, one low. Tyke Furlong in again. Massive shift from him as always, and he holds the ball up. You see how he's got a grip of the ball. So I told you it's slow to actually get back and get the ball to the scrum half. Really good. And now look, we've managed to shuffle the players across. So there's something that you can bring in from rugby league, and that is the high tackle. So you go up, not high as in you take the neck off the player, but you lock up the ball. And that's what Sean Edwards is always talking about for France. I wonder what his French is like, because Ron O'Gara's is funny. I imagine Sean Edwards with the Wigan accent, the greater Manchester accent. It's got to be funny. All right, kid. Voulez-vous? 1, 2, beauty flew. So yeah, we wrapped them up again. Faz was probably saying that get in, because there was a lot of rugby league style tackles, double hits going in, and it worked very well. Slow the ball down. They try and go back down the shorts. Well, they're kind of in the middle of the pitch, but they try and go back to the right where they were already attacking. But we're ready. Again, the tackle is complete. Pollock's knee hits the ground and he gets back up. This could have really cost us. I know now he's been let go, but he has to pick the ball back up. He has to let go of it, then pick it up and go again. He never did. Once the player has a hold of your leg and your knee hits the ground, that's the tackle complete. Now you can let go of it and then go pick it up again, but he doesn't do that. But they get on to him so well. Tyke Furlong again making a tackle. That's hard for a loose head, it's difficult enough, but for a big tight head prop, especially like Tyke, that's incredible, that effort. So just look at that, like that work rate from him. The man is a machine. Makes one hit here, slows it down. Ball goes across. And he's there again to make another hit. Incredible stuff by him. Then the knock on comes. Ringrose gets it. Poor James Lowe injures himself here, but he manages to hack the ball away. Well done. And look where they were versus where they're at now. They're still at 0, and we've kept our 3-point lead. That's a massive effort by Ireland. And now this is dangerous. This is where England are good. It's just running it straight back after a loose kick, but we get up so well and shut them down. 2 men here, the back rowers, the 7 and the 8, making a double hit. Slow ball for England, and they have to start the attack all over again. Pollock just tries a loose kick, comes off Tyburn, and he knocks it on. We get a chance to gather our breath after that massive shift and another scrum. And we love a scrum. And Tommy O'Brien into the action. He wants to see another scrum, not me. But I also don't want to miss the action. And now it's time for Ireland to attack. So having survived that massive storm, we get on the attack here and we make England pay. Get it out, nice. Work this so well. Ball out wide here to Balakoon. He backs his pace here, so he actually gets tackled by Arundel, who was quite quick himself. But he backs himself to go up against him, skins him on the outside, and gets a brilliant offload. The two wingers combining brilliantly here. Great read by Tommy O'Brien, who doesn't try and track back. He backs Balakoon, and that's the difference. We backed our teammates this time. So he backs Balakoon to get ahead of him and then give the offload. So he runs with them, like Antoine Dupont does, where he doesn't actually go back. He just runs sideways and then forward, waits for his teammate to put him on side, essentially. Great offload. And O'Brien gets it now. And now look at all these England players backpedaling. Joe Hayes and Ellis Genge, the two front rowers, knackered. This is tiring for the big men. So that's why you got to make it count when you do it. The fact that England have been in our own 22 and not scored any points for the last 10 minutes, monumental, 20 minutes even, monumental shift by Ireland. And Balakoon's in rucking as well. The ball comes back, really good rucking here. O'Brien and Osborne are in. Van der Fleer joins. It's slower, yes, but we're on the attack now. Now we go out the back. James Ryan, he's not going to make the big long runs, but trucking it up is what he does. He gets right into the 22. Luke Cowan-Dickey is absolutely knackered at this point. Look at that. That's a picture that you want as an Irish player, and you don't want it if you're an English player. Joe Hayes is struggling to get back on side. England are gassed at this point. We'll clear out on Genge. And then we go quick again. Jack Crowley, get that back line firing. Great shift on. Really good hands by Ringrose. The Leinster and Munster players combining brilliantly. And Crowley knows when to take it in and when to give the pass and gets a really good presentation here for Gibson Park. Look at that. Joe McCarthy, let's crash it up again. And this man's about to score a really good heads up rugby try. McCarthy carries brilliantly, an infringement by England. Tyburn says, give it to me, then throws it to Gibson Park, who goes quick. And you know the rest. Now, this is really good. They're backpedaling. The forwards are absolutely exhausted. Gibson Park catches England out brilliantly because that's what we want. Feet. Rapido. We want to speed things up. England are knackered. Their big, tired forwards are exhausted, having put in a huge shift trying to get a try, registered 0 points, and then one attack, we scored. Right, really clever. Sorry, Joe, you're not catching them. Great try, really good. See, look at this here. Really good run by Balakoon, backing himself. That's why, as a winger, you need pace because you need to be able to back yourself. Sorry, I'm going to put myself up. Backs himself here. He's got very little space to work with, but he doesn't worry about that. He just backs himself, goes past Arundel, gets tackled, but gives a great offload to Tommy O'Brien. Really good. And then look at all that space. That's perfect for a winger, especially with the pace of Tommy O'Brien. Really good. Now watch this kick. This is a really difficult kick. but he nails it. Brings it in lovely. I say that like I'm a fly half. But if you look at my highlights, I did get a really good kick on the Outlands Astro pitch. I know, difficult. It's different circumstances, but so we clear our lines anyway, and then they get a line out. Can you not hand the towel? That really annoys me. They just throw the towel on the ground when the person's standing right next to them. No need. England get done for sealing off feet. We get a penalty. Let's go. Jack Crowley stepping up. That's the one now where you need to be nailing it. So I was thinking, is that the one he missed? Yeah, and you need to be nailing them. But just a minor blip. Jack Van Portfleet on. That's really nice shipping from Tommy O'Brien onto Jack Crowley and now Chase. And he regathers it, just like I was talking about with Robert Balakoon. Look at this. Look at that really good contest. But I didn't think it was a penalty, I'm being honest. I thought his eyes are on the ball the whole time. He's looking at it and then he makes contact, yes, but he was going for the ball. Gibson Park would have had a brace. It's unfortunate, but they're saying he should have gone to the big screen. Let play continue and then go to the big screen. So there we go. Shane's on it straight after the overthrow, and now we're on the attack again. So we didn't let that bad decision go against us. We played on and we stayed positive. Good carry. Always gets the arms free, does really well. So, like, I told you I had him wrapped up, but Stuart McCluskey always gets his arms free, and then we play on. That's a power kick by Crowley, so that could land us in trouble, but it doesn't. Osborne does really well, and we get a penalty. Now, box kick after a lineup. See that defense again, solid. And they're going for a box kick themselves, of course. It's just so predictable. We bat it backwards. Tyke Burn is there. That's the difference between when we played England versus when we played France. Look at how many Irish players are around the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. I know Gibson Park's ahead of it, but we're around the ball anyway. So if the ball is batted back, Gibson Park can get it. If England get it back, so can Tyke Furlong. I'm sure anything Joe Hayes can do, Tyke Furlong can do better. He gets on it. Really good hands. Joe McCarthy. Look at that offload. That's brilliant. Really good hands. Get that arm free. And now Jeremy Lockman carries. So look at that. That's the forwards doing all the hard parts and the skillful parts too. That's what we say with England. 1, 2 phase, maybe 3, then they go to the skies. So predictable. So we don't actually win it here, but we bat it backwards and then we win it. and that's the important part. And yeah, that came off an England hand, but look at the skill here by Joe McCarthy to just ride the challenge and get the ball out to Lockman. And he makes a good carry. Takes it in. Good ruck. And they're just after saying in the commentary box, but it was the correct decision not to pass. Well done, because it could have been intercepted. He learned from Stuart McCluskey not to do it. Tommy O'Brien steps back in field. Does well. Good clear out by really good clear out there on Benner out by Ringrose. So he's the centre and he's doing the stuff of a forward. Like that's the thing that impressed me the most. Nobody was like, I'm a back or I'm a forward. It was all a collective effort. That's the thing. Like the forwards were handling the ball as well as the backs, and then the backs were clearing out the ruck like any good flanker would. It's the little things that all came through. So look at Ringrose here. He's in immediately. And it's not illegal because Ben Earl steps back. That's the thing. Really good hit by Ringrose. That's the position you want. And then Crowley is in over it. Perfect. So you're 13, your second centre, and then your fly half are in hitting that ruck. That's really good play. And then your second row is handling the ball like any good winger would. Really good play by Ireland. And then a good carry in by James Ryan doing the fundamentals of a forward. He's always looking around, isn't he, Henry Pulkin? Another kick. And then this time O'Brien takes it into the bread basket. Really good catch. If you're going to make a kick, make it contestable. Really good. And now England are backpedaling and we are all on the attack. This is when Big Stu goes into that gap. Love it. Really good. So now we've got England backpedaling. Brilliant catch by Tommy O'Brien. And now Big Stu, take a bow. We've got England on the back foot. Really good pass, and he hits this like a steam train. Look at that pace. Look at that power. You can't stop Big Stu. Really good carry. Now England are shit out of luck. A few people here were saying Freddie Stewart was legal. He's never legal because he makes the tackle. Now, if he comes through the gate of this ruck, and it is a ruck, two players have joined, it's a ruck. Even if it wasn't, Stewart can go for the ball, but he must regain his feet, take his hands off because he's the tackler, then go for the jackal. He does neither, and he plays the 9. See here, this is Freddie Stewart. He's on one knee, he's on his hands. He never actually gets back up and plants both feet. He's always off his feet, and then he plays Gibson Park and stops him playing the ball quick. You see, he's still got one hand on the ground. He hasn't regained his feet, and he plays the 9. See? So he's made the tackle. He's never actually come back through the gate. So where Ollie Lawrence is now, Stewart has to be there and he has to come through the gate legally and play. And he can play the 9 as long as it's making a tackle and Gibson Park has lifted the ball. He's actually made contact with Gibson Park before he's even picked the ball up. So until that ball is actually physically lifted, he hasn't actually played it. You're allowed to play the 9 if he's lifted that ball, because then the ball is lifted and you're making a tackle and you've come through the gate. Or if Gibson Park goes in to actually ruck, he's part of the ruck. He's not the 9. Playing the 9 isn't just exclusively reserved for the number 9, whoever's acting as the scrum half. But it doesn't matter because we score anyway. Really good pass, and Balakoon does the rest. Really good play. And then Piardi made the right decision, giving him a yellow. And then just look at. Yeah, so Crowley missed that kick again. Yeah. Another missed touch by George Ford, or was it Arundel? Yeah. Another really good piece of play by, sorry, another really good piece of play by Balakone. So I want to just highlight that because they missed touch. They called the mark. Great pace. He hit to that pace, Jamie Osborne, and then we moved the ball so well. He does. He tackles himself, but look at Balakone here. So he works all the way over from there. I really don't want to miss Balakone's great defensive work because that was so impressive. They're asking for holding on. Nobody's on that. Look at Balakone. He's busting a gut to get across here and act as another option. It's very hard being a back because you need to know when to be off your wing. You know, if you're a winger, you need to know when to come off the wing and when to go back. It's not easy, and Balakone did it so well. Look at him wrapping around here. He's another option. Big Stew was over that. Now Earl is off his feet. Quick ball. We worked this so well. And I like Balakone's confidence. He's now over on the left wing with Tommy O'Brien. So remember, Tommy O'Brien was from the left wing all the way over to the right wing. And after Balakone backed his pace, got around and gave that offload. Now roles are reversed, but he's still giving the offload. So he gives it here. He steps, he backs himself. And this is what I was talking about. McCluskey should have backed himself earlier. It didn't bite us in the arse, but it could have done. England are now down to 14 men. Balakone hits this line brilliantly, backs himself, goes into this gap, and gives a lovely offload for Tommy O'Brien to score. Look at that dummy, and now he goes even further. O'Brien is up with them. Tommy Freeman can't get with them, and now he's got options inside and outside. So remember I was talking about with France, Antoine Dupont, always given that extra option. So Louis Bielbiere could have gone himself, or he could have given the pass for Dupont. Well, Gibson Park is doing exactly that here, and so is Tommy O'Brien. Balakone backs his teammate, his winger, his opposite winger. He does so well. Gives that pass perfectly. Tommy O'Brien does the rest. Who's the best Tommy? Tommy O'Brien beats Tommy Freeman and shows who the best Tommy is on the day. Great piece. So good. Really good try. Very well deserved as well for Tommy O'Brien. Let's see now. Is this the one now? Because if it is, it's a piece of brilliance. We did so well to defend this. So we're backpedaling. We've lost the ball, but we regather our feet so well. That backwards by McCluskey, just great awareness. If he knocks it forward, it's probably a yellow card. A deliberate knock on, but he bats it back so well. Like, look at that. We turn it over, so just get that. We actually spill it here. Pollock makes a really good turnover. It's Ireland ball. Really solid scrum as well. It's a good hit by Dingwall, and then Pollock gets his arm in. Perfectly legal. And now I think the forward holds on to it for too long, but we do really well. We don't dive in, and we make him make a decision. So he could just go for this gap, which he does, but we make him make up his mind, and he picks the wrong option. Gibson Park covers across brilliantly. I don't actually see, in fairness, what George Ford can do differently. He can't give it to Ollie Lawrence because he shut off really well by the Irish defenders. And then Arundel is marked by Tommy O'Brien, who reads it perfectly. And then look at that, bats it up, and we win it back. Brilliant defence. What a hit by McCluskey, though. Like, I know we give away a penalty here, but what a hit by Stu. Just sorry, 1 second there now. Right. So we do give away a penalty, but what a counter ruck. Big hit by Tig and also Jeremy Lockman. Really good hit on a big man. That's it, just hit him. Ball looked like it was out, but fair enough. Understandable. The chair when the ball went in the touch. I think that was very poor work by the England lifters. They don't do enough to protect the man in the air here. They changed the point of attack, and then Balakoon again with really good defence. Look at that against big Jamie George, Tyke Furlong, and Jeremy Lockman. The two front rowers for Ireland working brilliantly. Great defence, especially by Balakoon as well. And then Tyke Byrne gets in over. Great defence. Such good play. And you can see James Ryan doing that was a massive moment. What a shift by Ian. Excellent game. So they switch up the play. Ty Furlong comes across brilliantly, and Balakoon slows Jamie George down so well. Really good defence. And then that man gets in, gets that jackal. He knows he's got it. Great position. And he has it. And then some very unsavoury play there by Joe Hayes, because you see them going back and forth. Look where Joe Hayes' head is. That's not very good, that camera angle. Oh, Jesus. Look at it again. Because he's just going back and forth. That's not a good camera angle. Oh. We hold them out again. So another big England drive, but we hold them out. We're top of the turnovers as well, which is really good. Very impressive. So I just want to find that moment by see it here. I thought Lawrence jumped into that tackle there. We just can pause that before. To see the way he gets ready to jump. And then, you know, the way Dan Shane was penalised, now it was much more obvious. But I think Ollie Lawrence jumps into that tackle and is lucky not to be penalised. Because Dan Shane was rightfully penalised, but then you don't have the issue with the knock on by John McCarthy afterwards. Now he is going down at it, and maybe he was lucky not to get penalised for that. Is that not forward from them first? No, not seeing that. I didn't like this moment now by Eto'o where he keeps going, did it hit his head? Did he hit his head? This is the contentious decision. Now, this is what we want to talk about for sure. Really poor technique here by Genge, so we go back a bit further. So Ireland start off brilliantly here. Another kick coming up. England kick more than any other team. It's not a surprise. Um, Apparently, we have more turnovers than any other team, which is really good to see. Good carry here. Good carry. Now, this, I understand how bad it looks, right? But I want to show you a few things afterwards when it's slowed down. First, I want to look at good play from Ireland. They just give him so much time to make his mind up. You know, England just sit back and let Gibson Park do what he wants. They're probably wrecked. Really good hit. Balogun waits and smashes forward backwards. And now we're through on it. Who else? Who else but Dyke Byrne? And another box kick. The initial instincts by the English commentator was it looked dangerous, but nothing too bad, nothing too serious. I'll be interested to see what he thinks later. Great kick. And then a great catch by Jamie Osborne. Brilliant take. And then again, we win that ruck. Quick ball. Really poor technique by Genge, who just drops a shoulder. Doesn't even make any attempt on Caelan Doris, who waltzes through this gap. Really good carry by him. Great carry. Back yourself. Just back yourself. Yes. And now this big Stew was battering through. Holds on to it this time. And then this is the yellow card for Henry Pollock. He plays it here. He slows Ireland down cynically. I don't know why he looked so surprised because it looked like he was walking off initially, and then he was like, "What, me?" I thought, oh, he took that very well, but no, he didn't. He clearly slowed it down. He just lay on. See, he's holding the ball on the ground here. It's clearly a yellow card. It's cynical. I told you he always looks bemused as well, and he kept interrupting the referee when he was saying it to him, telling him that the clear out was fine. And we'll go through that now. See the way he runs off, and you're there thinking, oh yeah, well done. But then he's like, oh, it wasn't me, was it? A lot of people criticised that piece of play by Curry because they thought he was milking it. It looked genuinely painful, I will say. I told Jay keeps saying, but did it hit the head? And he keeps interrupting the ref. If that was Caelan Doris speaking to the ref, I think he would have been told to go away. I think it's quite disrespectful by Itoje. See it now. So we look at it here. So Curry is on his knees. We see that Tyke Furlong already arrives at the ruck. Now, how else is he supposed to clear him out? He's already there. He's got his arm like in like this, and he's going to wrap it around. He clearly makes a wrap afterwards. They arrive at the ruck at the same time. Okay, it's quite a dynamic motion. Furlong's trying to stay on his feet, and yes, it's a very unfortunate position by Tom Curry, but he's off his feet here and he's still staying in the ruck. So Furlong and Curry have already made contact. It's different if Furlong comes in and dynamically clears out Tom Curry. They're already in the ruck. The fact that I think the referee came to the right decision and used common sense, because you could freeze this image and say, right, that's a forearm to the head, which, yeah, I understand. But look at the ruck. Look when they come to the ruck together. So, yeah, even the English commentator, fair play to him. I need to need to find out who it is. Alistair Aiken, is it? I don't know. David Flatman I have in my head as well, but he said it himself. There is nowhere else for Tadhg Furlong to go. Exactly. Perfect. There is nowhere else he can go because he arrives at the same time. So Tom Curry's already in the ruck. Tadhg Furlong arrives. He's trying to get his arm free. His arm then has to come away from Tom Curry. So we'll see it again. So they arrive at the same time. Tadhg Furlong is already here. Tom Curry is here as well. The tackle is made by Itoje. It's hard enough for Furlong not to fall over, so he's trying to brace for impact. He doesn't come in with a big forearm to the face. So let's see it here. His arm is already here. Tom Curry is very low. So I don't know where else Tadhg Furlong is supposed to go. Like Tom Curry is falling into Tadhg Furlong. So Tom Curry's actually initiating the contact here. And yes, it is very bad looking, but watch. The neck does jar, but there's nowhere else Tadhg Furlong can go. Now, yes, he falls back, and that looks painful, yes. But Furlong wraps the arms. He can't go anywhere else. Exactly. Like the left arm is wrapped. There's nowhere else Tadhg Furlong can go. Those arms are both wrapped. I don't see what else Tadhg Furlong can do, to be honest. Ooh, but it does look nasty. I have to be honest. great, great, great break there by Caelan Doris. Like, look again, Jay. This is just laziness. I think him and Chesham. Like, if you want the two men to tackle Caelan Doris, you would say for England this is perfect. You've got Ellis Genge, Ollie Chesham, so the loose head prop and the big second row, and Ollie Lawrence, the big physical 13. This is perfect versus Jack Crowley, Jeremy Lockman, and Caelan Doris. These two are big physical men, so you would be happy with this picture if you were Steve Borthwick. This is a good picture for England. Now Chesham bites in, so poor read by him. There's no way in hell Caelan Doris should get through that gap. Why Genge hasn't actually tried to wrap, I don't know, but he just nudges him. Look at that. Terrible technique, and Doris gets through the narrowest of gaps. And you can hear Doris saying it's a rugby incident. Absolutely. With the Tadhg Furlong clearing. And the referee is trying to explain this, and Itoje keeps pointing the finger. He's always pointing the finger, and going, oh, look at that, or go over there. He's never happy with what the referee's saying. So he says it once, did it hit his head as the referee's telling him, says it again. But did he hit the head? He says it a third time. He's always waiting to say something while the ref is speaking to him. 3 times he's mentioned it as the referee is talking to him. The people say Ireland moan. I told you he never shuts up moaning to the ref. 4 times he said it to the referee in one chat. uh, 5 times. 5 times he said, "Did he hit his head? Did he hit his head?" The referee's trying to tell him what he saw, and he just keeps speaking over him. I don't see why they have such a thing for against Irish captains. Italia has mentioned that 5 times as the referee is speaking to him. And Shane gets the try. Taps it with the foot. Yeah, very good. Really good switch here. England are backpedaling again. Another big carry. Shane spots the gap, goes quick. Bang! Really good. Great try. And after Crowley missing 2 kicks, he gets this one, which is an important one for the confidence. And Prendergast missed that kick, so just saying. I want to just show a brilliant piece of defending by Robert Balakoon, which was so impressive. I was really happy with that. They win the line out. They move it very well here. Really good double hits here. So Osborne and then Ringrose. And then a knock on. England score here. Neck roll by Jamie George, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. He scores the try. This is the one. So England get a really good position here, but look at the defence. Better wrap this up soon. I'm getting so excited. England clear. Get the line out. Just going to pause that for a sec. So, watch it here. They get a good line out. This is the last quarter of the game, last 20 minutes. So England get a good piece of play here. And then they go out the back. Robert Balakoon is over here in the right wing. He makes up so much space to make a brilliant cover tackle. Stout. Stout. So now Chesham makes a big carry up here. Well done by Gibson Park, really brave. And now Alex Scholes takes it up. Tide Burn again with another really good tackle. Great work rate from him. So then they move it wide brilliantly here, England, in fairness. But look at the effort by Balogun. England nearly score. Tommy Freeman, a big man. And let's just look again because Balogun is out of shot here and he makes up so much ground. So we did all the stuff we want from a winger attacking me. You can't even see him here, right? And look, Tommy Freeman looks like he's in. There's nobody at home. But wait, and out of nowhere, Tommy O'Brien slows him down and Balogun finishes the job. Brilliant. Really good. I didn't even see him. And then he comes across, makes a brilliant tackle. That's outstanding. Really good. There he is. Like, look at the space he makes up there. He covers so much ground to get across. That's knowing when to go off your wing, attackingly and defensively. Attackingly, even a word, but when you talk about reading the game, that is brilliant reading because England get the overlap here. He's coming across. And now he puts on the afterburners and sprints across. And look at the amount of ground he makes up. But that's working together in defence because Tommy O'Brien slows him down. Tommy Freeman should score for all money. He's a quick player as well. But brilliant. Tommy O'Brien busts a good to get back. So does Balogun, and they smash him. Brilliant there. Great work. And that just epitomises Ireland's performance. And then I want to show another moment where Ireland just like Stuart McCluskey could have gotten man of the match because he was outstanding. Ty Burn in. Really good play. He's in over again. Like, look at that work rate. The man has some engine on him. He looks as tired when he starts as when he finishes. Go to the sky. Great pressure. Arundel is going absolutely nowhere. He takes the ball well, but Balogun makes sure he goes absolutely nowhere when he gets it, except backwards. And we pile the pressure on them. George Farr actually does really well to fish this out, but then Tig has his moment. Another moment. He gets over it. Great position there, and England sail off. Now, it's not technically a jackal, but because Guy Pepper is sailing off, we get the turnover. Yeah, really good. That face on Luke Cowan tells you all you need to know. And Jack Crowley nails it. Now, when they say we don't have the athlete in Ireland, look at the work right here by Nick Timoney, the replacement back rower. Great kick. Look the amount of ground we make up. Good catch by George Ford. Great turnover. Balogun doing something else brilliant. Might be a bit lucky to get out of it because is he supporting his own body weight, but that's a good position. Well, he's standing back up and he gets the jackal. For all he gives it here. This is why Gibson Park gets man of the match. This moment here shows exactly what he was doing the whole game. Puts the kick in, covers so much ground. This is exactly the picture you want. Smith is backpedaling. Kieran Frawley has that space covered with two more players coming up. Nick Timoney as well is covering the space. Marcus Smith is getting nailed. Great chop tackle. And then Gibson Park gets the jackal turnover. Brilliant. It's what you love. Great play. Then we go through the phases. We'll play. We get the offload. Keeps it alive. So Frawley's just offloaded to Crowley, then gets back up onto his feet. Takes it again, gives it to Gibson Park. It's slow, but look at this carry by Timoney, which gets us over the game line. Really good leg drive. And look, everyone's queuing up here. Ty Burn takes a massive hit. Takes a huge hit here, but gets the ball out, and then the rest is history. Really good ball here, and Osborne waltzes through that gap. Really good line by him. Great play. Really good. Like anacondas. Choke. Great try. Takes a huge hit, gives the ball out. Great try. I love it. Telling Pollock just to go away. So they get them all going forward, but watch once again. Caelan Doris is in brilliantly here. Really good position. Great jacket. Brilliant clear. Great turnover. Pick your battles better, plan powerfully, and deserve to man the match. This is the moment now where McCluskey shows his worth as a player. So we know he can do the big physical stuff. Again, we get another overlap. Crowley throws it. Marcus Smith is like lightning, and McCluskey back pedals. So it's easy when the ball's intercepted to say, right, that's it, give up on it. We're nearly at 73 minutes, and Ireland are up by 28 points. So it would be easy to say, the game's won, give up, but he doesn't. Smith is running onto that, but watch the effort here by Stuart McCluskey. Big man. So there he is there. Smith looks like he's gone. He should probably put the ball on the other arm, but he doesn't. There's no way in hell that McCluskey should chase him down, but he does. Look at that. And now Smith, who came off the bench, don't forget, gets hauled in the touch. Not content to just make the tackle, he just reefs him over the line. Well done. And everybody's patting him on the head and saying, well done, what an effort. Oh, look at the ground he has to make up. Just hunts him down. Look at that. He just hauls him out. Well done. Fans love that moment anyway. Brilliant. So we'll wrap it up there, guys. Got to get in and watch the game, the Ireland Welsh game. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. And yeah, that's what the Irish team is all about, and we know that they can do it. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Happy Friday, guys.